Before I get started, I do consulting on where you can move. I'll work with you to find the perfect place for you to move to. There's more information at the end of the video about that. Now let's get started. Everybody knows about how dangerous Miami is. We all know about the crazy meth head rednecks running around in the panhandle. But there's a place in Florida where the crime is the worst of all. And it's probably a place you haven't even heard of before. I had just left Immokalee, a farming community that's the poorest place in the state, and I was on my way to Miami. But before I got there, I needed to see what's been called the most dangerous place in the entire state. So in early May, I spent the afternoon in Florida City. A lot of people in Florida don't even know where Florida City even is. You can understand why. It's not very big. It's way out at the entrance to the Everglades in the far reaches of Miami-Dade County. If you know the area, it's where the famous tourist stop Robert Is Here is located. You know the place where you can buy odd canned goods, weird-looking produce, and feed all the farm animals. Florida City is just south of Homestead, which is also a crime-riddled community. They call this part of the county South Dade. Florida City is actually the southernmost city in the USA that's not on an island. All around the area looks pretty unassuming. It's basically farms, national forests, and preserves as far as you can see. But as we'll see, it's not gators, panthers, wild pigs, and snakes that you need to worry about in these parts. There's a lot of out-of-control, gun-tooting, crazy people who live in this part of the state. And we're going to learn more about them right now. Sometimes I think that Florida is a yo-yo. You pull on the string, and up and down it goes. Florida City, population 12,800 and going down. Maybe not forever though. After all, this is Florida, where all available land is being gobbled up. There isn't much out here. I mean, look at Florida City's website. That looks pretty boring, right? Florida City proper is mostly run-down neighborhoods surrounded by strip malls. That's really it. But it is certainly not uneventful down here. Man, does this place go off. The state of Florida is about average when you measure violent and property crime rates per capita. The real problem here is robberies. Florida's 12th overall when it comes to robberies. And look at that. When you look at all U.S. cities with reported robberies per capita, there you have it. Florida City, Florida has by far the most robberies of any other city in the nation. You'd have a 1 in 12 chance of getting robbed if you lived here, and a 1 in 43 chance of being assaulted or killed. Statistically, this is the third most dangerous place in the country right now. It's murders, welfare, child neglect, drive-by shootings, and liquor store robberies. There's lots of open drug spots. It's prostitution and gunfire every Friday night. You've heard it all before, and the reasons are all the same. Poverty, drugs, and gangs mostly. 1 in 3 houses here has a single mother. 4 in 10 people here live in poverty. The average person in Florida City makes about $10,000 a year. And the problems don't seem to be getting better. Some say it's the police adequacy rate. That means there aren't enough cops to control the population. And the type of new people moving in aren't always desirable. The cost of living 30 minutes away in Miami is going up all the time, so lots of troublemakers make their way out to this part of the county. That's bad news. Look at this. 0 cities in America are more dangerous than Florida City. None. The violent crime rate here is 650% higher than the national average. What the hell? Every day there's a reported violent crime here, and there's only 12,000 people in Florida City. For perspective, let's look at Chicago. There's 2.7 million people in Chicago. If Chicago had Florida City's violent rate, then there would be 224 violent crimes every day in Chicago. That's 224 rapes, murders, and attacks and shootings every day. That's a lot. I mean, Homestead's the 40th most dangerous city in the country, and look at how much worse Florida City is than Homestead. What the damn hell? There were 10 murders here a few years back, which means folks here had a 1 in 1,200 chance of being murdered that year. The crime rate here isn't going down either. But I wanted to know the full story. I had heard from some people who said gentrification and growth might turn this place into a desirable one. And according to a few Miami-Dade County representatives I talked to, seems like they're really trying to get a handle on all the crime here. During the summers, they give the kids here stuff to do. Because in the summertime, kids need things to do or they're going to run around with the wrong crowd, right? I was also told there's more active policing in Florida City these days, and that the cops and the counselors sit down with the youth and help them understand that crime isn't the way. Sometimes they can mentor them and they give them jobs to keep them busy. Florida City is also the focus of a gang reduction program where they try to preach to the young kids about how to stay out of trouble. It's nothing unique, and it can help, sometimes. Now, the county commissioner's office told me that crime's actually going down because of these measures, but I wasn't so sure. I mean, are all the stats I'm reading skewed? Is Florida City just a victim of a long-standing bad reputation? Or is crime here as bad as people say? I wanted to know. Why is the place out in the middle of nowhere so bad? Is it really improving here? And how much does poverty play into it? So I sat down with Florida City Vice Mayor Walter Thompson, and I asked him those very questions. While we hear his side of the story, we're going to drive around the southwest part of Florida City, widely considered to be just about the most dangerous neighborhood in America these days. Thank you for coming out and talking about Florida City. How long have you lived there for?
So I'm just going to say my whole life, 56 years.
Oh, good. Wow.
But
okay.
20 of them was military. So,
okay.
But I still was a legal resident of Florida City.
Yeah. So talk to me about, on paper, statistically, Florida City is called the most dangerous city in Florida. I was there. I drove around. I didn't feel that threatened. I mean, I've been to some really bad places. Florida City seemed like just your average place with crime. Are the statistics overblown? Like, what's going on there?
I think they are. I've always said it is, and what I do, I show people the difference, and I think the commissioner, I'm trying to get these glasses right, the commissioner that I defeated in the election, Commissioner Shiver, he pointed it out, and he reiterated it yesterday after I got through talking to you, concerning about if we have one murder this last year and then we have two this year, that's a 50%, 100% increase right there, and that's what people say. But we're guilty of our name. Our name is Florida City. So when you look on the papers, you always see Florida City. And when they say in Florida City, we automatically think it's Florida City, Florida. But if you keep reading the articles, you'll find out that it's a different city entirely. So it's not really Florida City. It's just, that's our name. So, hey, that's just what it is. So, it's not as dangerous. It's not as dangerous as people say it is. We don't have all these murderers. We don't have that, being in the environment area we're in, a lot of poverty is here. And we're trying to do that adjustment and trying to bring the people up. But as far as the crime and all this, no, that's not happening. That's not happening at all.
So what is happening that your name is associated with, like, super high crime?
It's just a name. It just read the paper right. Read it continuously. Read the whole story. They're going to put it that way. And like I said, concerning earlier about the rate. If we have 4 deaths, you got to look at it. Four deaths compared to the rest of Dade County, the inner city Miami, is very minute. It's not a thing, but we don't have that at all. We might have 1 or 2. And the max might be 4. You may have that because of our area there, but no, you don't have that major stuff. And we're fighting everything anyway because we have our shot spotters, and we have our cameras, we have everything, and we're able to pick up a lot of cases that tries to come through Florida City. And a lot of the crimes that go here get solved fast. So it's not like it's a free for all through the city. And what we also do is, me and the other commissioners and the mayor, we're actually going around more, and we're meeting the people. We're talking to the people. We're trying to get the people to the comfort zone to say, hey, I see this and I see that. So we're trying to change the dynamics of the city as far as what they see and how they're doing it. And it's a process in it, but I see it's going to happen. So as far as the crime rate, I just think it is an operation of us. Sometimes is you can talk about one crime, and the person that's talking about it, or talk to somebody else about the crime. Now they don't see the crime, and you're talking about the same crime. You got 10 people talking about the same crime, but seeing it in a different perspective, and so you're lining up with, hey, they don't have 10 murders here. They don't have all this right here, but that's not true. That's not true. And I mean, our economical situation that's here in South Florida's here, it calls a lot of things for people to say. And we just got to continue educating our people and getting our people right. And once we get them educated enough, they're going to see a lot of things, and you're going to see a lot of things that are going to go down. So, but
Okay.
I just don't see it as the paper. And I have to correct. I'm sorry about these glasses. I have to correct it a lot because a lot of people are saying the same thing. Oh, this is the most dangerous place in this state. This right here is, but no, it's just how the writing of the papers are.
So poverty has a lot to do with it. I think 1 out of 3 people in Florida City lives in poverty.
Yes.
What's the correlation between crime and poverty that you see there?
Well, I see people that want it. The American the American dream, brother. They want it, and a lot of times is where you're not educated enough to know what it is with the hard work and the dedication. We have to stamp out a lot of I was gonna say trauma, but a lot of mental illness, learned mental behavior, and when we tackle that, we'll start seeing the development of our city more because people will start caring more about what they have. They got a great opportunity now for the next 4 years, well, 8 years, to take care of a lot of things they got to do and get them out of the thinking process that they're doing. So I think is this learned mental behavior down here. A saying is this how it is, this how it's always been, this how it's gonna be. No, it's not. Uh, when we continue doing the education of our citizens, letting them know that this is not how you have to be, doing different social values, teaching them that, getting them responsible for their actions and what their word is, and we're going from there. I told every police officer I want you to treat everybody fairly. Make sure you're doing that. But when there's crime there, I want us to take it to the max because I need the people to feel secure. And once the people feel secure, they'll be able to talk more, they'll be able to be more, and they'll be able to do more for themselves.
Okay. So educating the population, meaning school, or educating them about how to not be getting in trouble.
Well, it's definitely school. It's definitely school. And when you say school is, when we talking about the kids is, we talking about going to the elementary schools starting first. A lot of people will start at senior highs, but go to elementary schools, go to the middle schools, and then go in there. But one thing it is I can't do it without the parent, or I can't do it without the kid. So now when you start teaching that way and you start going that way, teaching that type of responsibility, that type of education, people are starting to feel more responsible. You know, uh, there's not that many home ownerships down here. There's not that. So of course you're going to have people that's not theirs. We're trying to make them be able to have something that they can own, and when they own it, that means is they're going to be able to take care what they have, what they're doing, and now they're going to have more responsibility for it because it's theirs. So they're going to be able to report that, hey, down the street there, these people are messing up, this is going right here. Now we're taking care of themselves, because a lot of times is we will want to have our government like, you're going to take care of me, you're going to be this, you're going to be that. But I seen this, when you start taking care of yourself, when you start getting educated, when you start seeing is, well, I do not have to be that way. I can finish school, I can go to college, I can own a business, I can get my credit right. You will start living better, and that's when you're going to see them small crimes things start going down. I, for one, know we're not going to get rid of all crime, but I know the crime from my city will go down drastically. And what it is, if we educate and help our people turn the other way.
Yeah. Has crime gone down there? Is it going? I mean, is it working? Whatever you guys are doing with talking to folks and educating them and telling them knock it off and grow up and you can do whatever you want if you act appropriately. I mean, is it working in your community?
Yes, for the last 2 months, is we have a police chief. He's out right now, and we had a assistant police chief come in, and he has implemented some changes that I think is needed. He's created a task force. The task force go around, they're checking tags, they're checking different hot spots, they're going this way, it is, and they're actually being seen. So what they is, they're being productive. And by being productive, and the citizens see them. When I'm going around and I'm at the parks and I'm talking to people, when I have people come up and say, I see your police force now. I see them and I see what they're doing. They're stopping people. They're talking to people. They're apologizing. You know what? I'm sorry. I came in your yard. We was doing this, apprehending this right here. And people respect that because now it's like, hey, the guys are giving us respect. And so in terms is you're going to get respect. And so that's what we're seeing. We got more young officers coming in. The older officers are training them and they're showing them around. And we're getting rid of any reputation that these young men have, these older guys have, and what they're saying about our police department. That's slowly going away. And by that slowly going away, now the people will be able to trust the police department. And when they start trusting the police department, they'll start speaking more, they'll start talking more, and they'll start doing better. We're working with the young kids. We actually brought a program here. We're going to start Monday after school. I mean, not after school, but a summer program. That's just a start. Florida City has donated money for that. And we're going to have these kids in there teaching them something different. I should be coming through teaching classes there myself. For they can see their vice mayor, they can see their mayor, they're gonna see their commissioners, they're gonna see us there, and we're gonna show them how much we care. Because I found out when you care about someone and someone sees it, nine out of 10, they're going to start changing how the way they think.
Does being way out in the middle of nowhere, y'all are like, 30 miles, 40 miles from Miami, at least the outskirts. Does that have an impact being so far away and isolated out in the middle of Florida on crime and poverty? Is that part of the problem?
No, I do not think it is because I think it can be to our advantage because we are far away. And we're exit one. That means everybody's going to come down here because we're in a unique spot. We're in between the Keys and Miami. And that means is people go to the Keys and people go to Miami. Now we have our own police department, everything right here is. That means is when you start small, I know we was talking about local government yesterday. And when you have a small local government, you can actually put that American dream to work right then and there. Because that means you don't have to go through the big harassment of that big city or that close in stuff right here and people just on top of people. No, you ain't got to go through that. You got neighbors, you got programs, you got this right here. So we just have to shed the reputation. That's it. We just got to we got to shed that. We gotta let people know that hey, this is not what people per se it is. You need to see the unique part of Florida City. They need to see the good part, how we have on our parks, how we have our neighbors, how we actually putting up communities around here. Now, what had happened is we have got that influx of what's going on in Miami that we have had people have to move down here. And when you move into an area, you put your stake there and you go from there because you used to it. So now we have to get that behavior right also. And so once you get all that, but once we start educating them, once we start showing them how you can own your own business, how you can do your own homes, how you can put all this together and be a productive citizen, we'll start seeing a better increase on the betterment of our city.
Yeah. So you got a bunch of people fleeing the Miami area because of the high cost of living, and a
Yes.
lot of them are ending up in your area, and that can kind of mix up the chemistry and the overall
Yes.
vibe of the place. I get you.
Yeah, it's not necessarily high cost. As you go to Miami, you're going to see they was actually tearing down a lot of the projects. They was tearing down a lot of the places, and the people had to have somewhere to go. And when you look at it, yeah, now you're talking about, okay, well, I can pay enough down here, and they got to come somewhere, and we had the buildings for them, and so they coming that way, but they should be allowed to come. It's just the fact is that we need to make sure that when everybody comes and when we're going, that everybody gets this new way of life, new thinking way of life. Because I've seen it in the military. I know it works. I know it works when you start teaching different values, when you start having people being more responsible. I see that works. I see that change the minds of everyone. I see that around the county because I'm a peer specialist for the 11th Circuit Court. And I see that, and I talk to people every day concerning mental problems, learned mental behavior, and doing different things that way. I see that, and I know it works, and that's what we're bringing down here to make sure everybody can see it and learn from themselves and learn the different things that can make their life better.
A lot of the state is getting gentrified. I mean, I drove all over the Panhandle, Pasco County, Central Florida, down by you. It's growth, it's development, new, more crowded, more expensive. Do you think Florida City's ever going to get to that point where y'all are the target of growth in Florida?
We are going to be. Right now is we have a big growth problem here. Well, not a problem, but a growth development is happening. We're building more townhouses. We're building more homes. Here is just going to change the dynamics of it, and that's why we have to make sure it's right. We have to make sure that citizens of Florida City here now get the same taste of that pie that people coming down for. Because you're talking about, and around here in Florida City, you can buy a townhouse for $360,000. Well, you got people coming out of other states that has property over $1 million and selling their property and coming out here and getting 2 or 3 properties. Now, you can't stop that. I'll never stop a person from growing. But what it is now they coming in and they're doing all this and they're selling their stuff there. So the growth is there for them, but we need the growth for the citizens of Florida City. If you're a resident down here, we need you to have that. We need you to, on this growth that we're doing here, we need you to be the homeowners. We need you to be the business owners down here because this is what a small city is about. This is what your local government is about. Taking care of those people that's right here and accepting everyone else that comes. So, it's coming. It's coming. I think in the next about 2 or 3 years, Florida City might be double in size as far as housing's coming in. So that's going to be a big jump. And we right now is why they're building. We have to tackle all these situations what people saying the high crime, with the actual crime, with the actual schooling, with all this stuff right here. We have to now start showing people and they start seeing it and start getting repetitious in this by them seeing that. Then they can be like, okay, now I understand because this is the way I'm supposed to be. So we're doing different things because we want this to work. And when you want it to work, is it working for your people, not for me, but for my people. I want them to be like, okay, I got it now. I can have it. I can have this American dream, what people say it is. I can have this pie. I can have my own. I can be this way. I can report crime. I can say crime not in my neighborhood. I can get Crime Stoppers. I can get everything, everywhere else for people to see that and have to walk outside. I can be just like that. Maybe not leave your door open, 'cause you got to be safety cautious, but to walk outside and be able to enjoy yourself, barbecue in front of your house, cut your grass, enjoy yourself, speak to your neighbors and all that. And that's what we're doing right now for Florida City.
Let me ask you, how do you feel about the state of America, where America's going today as of 2022?
Well, I have to answer that is by asking which way are you talking about? Because I cover many areas, and I have to ask you which way you're talking. What state of America as far as what?
I just America, where the country is right now in terms of the economy, crime, politics, everything that we see on the news, and you could have an optimistic viewpoint or a pessimistic. I'm just asking your opinion. How do you feel about the state of the country right now?
I don't like this gun violence. I don't like that at all. I believe in the Bill of Rights. I believe in American how it is, but I don't like this gun violence. I think that, be honest with you, because we have so much, we're soft on a lot of things that we're allowing to happen. We're using our political views instead of looking at the human way of how things are supposed to be and how it goes. I think that we can do more tackling of our American citizens instead of going around the country doing a lot of things. Because I'm a soldier, and that's what I did for 20 years. But I think the American people needs help more. I know we can as a country. I know, we're the best country in the world today. Greatest military, greatest whatever it is, but that's what we are. But I know we can help our people more. I think we can tackle these cities, these big cities. We can tackle them more. We can give more help. We can do more patrolling. I just think we have to be realistic on what it is, and let our people know that it's going to get hard before it gets easy. I think it should be more police force. Why they doing it? I know a lot of people are not gonna like that, but I think it is. I think you need to have every city defense should be up more and be able to patrol their city more and take care of the citizens more on this in America for everything to get well. I just think we're soft on crime. That's it.
Yeah.
Just soft on crime.
Yeah, we're
real soft.
You can see what happens when you take cops off the streets. It doesn't go very well.
Yes, and I tell people you're right on that. But one thing I do, and I tell the police officers here, my first thing was do your damn job. It's just that damn simple. Do your damn job, and I want to emphasize doing your damn job. And a lot of times they will get embroiled in what goes on in the country, what goes on this way. A lot of things I said here, I probably wouldn't have said as I was in the military because I had to do my job. Okay, now once I got through doing my job, now I'm one of the people that needs to protect it here now. Then now I can voice myself, hey, God, we might have to look at this, we might have to look at that. So do your job. As a police officers, you have to serve and protect, serve your city, do your city, be fair, and be firm, and do what you have to do, and that's all we have to do. A lot of times when you do that, people will see that, they would change. How you doing? Going from there. Do what's right, doing your damn job, and everything else will take care of itself. We can't control how the legislative feel. We can't control what the politicians doing. We can't do that. But do your job and let everything work it out. And you are to protect this city and go from there. And I tell the police officers that all the time. If you don't think you can do that, you should get the hell away and let somebody else do it. That's how I feel, and I go from that. I say that because as a military guy, I'm not equal opportunity when it comes to protection of this country, of this city, of this state. I need someone to do their job and go from there. So let the other people concentrate on that. But I think it's just terrible sometimes when I see that.
Let me ask you one more quick question. When you knock on the door of a knucklehead who's been in and out of jail, who is clearly a problem in the community, and you try to talk sense into them, and you give them counseling and advice and programs and interaction, and it doesn't work, what's the main reason why it just doesn't sink into some of these people that just keep causing all the problems?
Well, for the person that's knocking on the door, you better be educated enough to be able to handle that. When I knock on the doors, I run into that problem right here I don't only work with that person. I work with the family who's around him. I work with his friends. I work with him and her friends, whoever it is. I work with the parents. You take, for instance, a lot of times you got these little 16-year-old, 17 young kids. They just shooting up everything. You know they do. Everybody was young. Everybody had a generation, and their generation did things. Well, these young men right here now got guns. They're doing this right here. So now you got to know how to talk to them. So you got to get the right people to come in to talk to them. And I seen that it takes that parent. It takes both of us. The outside force and the parent. Or as an adult, it takes somebody else to come in. Now, when you don't do it, after we have done everything, as a peer specialist, I will keep doing it. But as the vice mayor, that's a different story. If you don't do it, and we have exhausted everything that we have to do for you, we have laws that can take care of you. That just if and buts about. We have laws to take care of you. I'm not going to let you live in a subsidized area in Florida City doing what you have to do if we have worked with you and tried to get everything for you. I don't want you to do that. Then now I got to find out what extent of the law I can do to go at you to make sure that you're no longer a problem to this society.
Yeah, just lock them up. I mean, really. I mean, that's what you're
But
saying.
no, not really just lock them up, but that's the end result if we have to. But we're going to continue because there's so many programs in the United States that you can use. We're not going to just, okay, you got to go. But I mean, you got to get the hell out of here. If you continue doing what you're doing, that's what lockup is about. Well, I'm going to work with you. I'm going to constantly work with you because I want you to succeed. But if you're just a badass and you're just doing what you want to do, yeah, you're going to be locked up. And it's not us locking you up. It's yourself locking yourself up. And that's what I teach by being responsible for your actions. If your actions requires you to be locked up, then you're locked up. And we're not going to look at it, nobody but you. And when we come at you, the full extent of the law is going to come down on you. So I have no problem doing that, though.
Yeah. If you had like 10 folks that you were trying, 10, 16, 17-year-old kids that you were trying to help through counseling and interaction and intervention and all that, what out of 10, how many do you think are helpless, are not going to be able to be helped, that you're just going to have to be like, you have to leave this community or you're going to get locked up? How many of those 10 do you think are not going to listen to any kind of advice?
If I'm looking right now, I'll say it have to be about 6.
So more than
6.
half of them are just not going to.
See, because it could be 9. Because really, I'm going to be honest with you, I only want one. I only need one. I want all y'all, but I only need one. I only need one. Because I'm not going to be the one who changes them. That 1 or 2 that changes, they are going to be the one. They are going to be the one that changes because they're going to start seeing example, real life experience. Real life experience, that's what a peer is. Real life experience, they seeing it. Well, we are the same way, but I can change. That's what they're going to see. And so as I get that 1, we can get those 2. We can get those 3.
Are you looking to move and need advice? I do consulting. That's right. I'll sit down and talk about where the next perfect place for you and your family should be. I do it all the time. Together, let's find you a new home that's safe and checks all your boxes. You can get my email in the description to find out how I can help you find your perfect relocation. And I can also help you find your new house too. Email me and I'll work with you on not just helping you figure out where to move, but I can help you find your perfect home too. That's right. I know awesome, reliable agents all over the country, and I'd love to connect you to somebody who can help you search for that perfect home. Hey everyone. So it's pretty clear by now that elected leaders aren't going to help you. If you don't like what you saw in this video, demanding change won't work. You're going to have to do it on your own. If you want to be safe and want your community to be a place where people want to live, you're going to have to clean the place up yourselves. You're going to have to work with your friends and neighbors to lower crime. Politicians clearly don't care as much anymore. It's up to us.
This is Sage, Nick's manager. This has been a Corner House Entertainment production.